Hi, I'm your goddess now Sky here with Trucker Man. We're reacting to
Breaking down best and worst conspiracy theories by Big Tugg.
the gay.
Alright.
You know what? I swear that's what I do all day is I just watch random conspiracy theories, alien stuff, and ghosts things.
You know what I love listening to back in the day when he was still alive? Art Bell, Coast to Coast AM.
Have no idea who that is.
It's an old radio station. It's like from the night. That's probably still runs. But they do this. They go through conspiracy theories. This is before YouTube or the internet.
My scream is scary.
But
I
we have found the limit at extratug.com where you can see exclusive content that I say dirty things in. Go check it out. Conspiracy theories, something that your uncle was not prepared to deal with during the pandemic, and now you don't talk to that side of the family anymore. But listen, sometimes stuff doesn't add up, or it does add up in a bad way. For example, do the letters ITANIMULLI mean anything to you? That's right, it's Illuminati spelled backwards. Are you scared yet? Well, if you add .com to the end of that backwards spelling, things get a little bit scarier. If you take that little domain name and throw it into the Google search bar, you will be brought directly to the homepage of the NSA. That's right, everybody. The government is
What? The NSA?
I want to try that, but then I don't want to try that.
Because what, you'll be under a watch list or something?
Probably.
Reminds me, deal my mom, she like a murder mystery or pasta normal stuff.
I used to like Ghost Hunters back in the day and Ghost Adventures.
I just love
case
it.
closed,
I just like
pussy, that's right.
Think.
Yeah.
Right, secret societies exist. I knew my uncle was onto something when he kept mentioning rock against communism. I'm sure that doesn't have any secret side meaning that's horrible. Of course, only after a few minutes of research do you find that redirected domain name was the work of a couple pranksters and you.
I thought the T was an R.
Utah, Mormons. But for many people, their brains are too small and pea-like to not freak out over what originally is a joke. The joke is then upgraded to misinformation, which eventually becomes confirmation bias. Which, if you don't know what confirmation bias is, the definition from Google is tendency to search for, interpret, and favor information that confirms our prior beliefs or values. And that leads to a bunch of incredibly stupid and unbelievably bad shit happening across this great United States. So it's kind of hard to know where to stand with these ideas of conspiracy. On the one hand, if you already think the government is controlled by liars from elite backgrounds, which
is that when they were talking about the aliens, or is that something else?
I don't know.
Oh, Mark Milley, he's that one guy who's tried to sell us out or something.
Yeah. The new pyramid conspiracy is coming out. We find out that, what's the new pyramid conspiracy?
Find out in our lives. And I've actually been seeing a lot of weird conspiracies about pyramids and stuff, about them like being spaceships, being ancient technology and junk. Like, for example, you ever wonder how the ancient Egypts were able to sculpt so perfectly, symmetrically, as well as the carvings and stuff?
Hell, not just that. Moving those blocks.
I doubt they had a bunch of guys strapped to a thing and had them pulling.
Well, what about the conspiracy? What about those pyramids they found in Japan that are underwater?
Have you heard about the pyramids in the Grand Canyon?
Nope.
That was something I saw randomly. There's a lot of stuff.
In most respects it is. Then imagining them in conspiratorial acts of surveillance and assorted subterfuge is not that big of an intellectual leap. If that sentence sounded too smart for my normal script writing, that's because I didn't write that. Shout out Jimmy for that big word sentence. But on the other hand, if you think everything is made up and the points don't matter, then why the f would you go to work?
Whose line is it anyway?
You know? Oh, wait a second. What's that? Oh, do you struggle to sleep every night due to random noises and a lack of mental calmness? What a silly thing to say. You're telling me you're not getting sleep because of your crushing anxiety due to the lack of a work-life balance and also your sort of snoring roommate who refuses to buy a CPAP machine? That's why you can't sleep? Well, I'm not here to call anyone stupid, but, you know, since the Oslo sleep buds are on the market, you obviously haven't done your research. Oslo sleep buds are scientifically created. to get the best sleep of your
that
life.
bothers
Buzz
me
off.
how it goes in the
50%
ear like
of all
that.
Americans
Ugh.
believe in at least one conspiracy theory, while 73% of Americans believe that conspiracy theories
Hey,
are
the killing
currently
joke.
out of control. So at the American core, we have the issue where we don't trust anything, but at the same time, we think everyone else are the crazy people. I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
They are all crazy. I know what's right. Experts blame
I just really enjoy listening to the conspiracy theories and junk. Whether or not if I 100% believe it, I don't know. I mean, I have a very open personality. If someone can sit there and explain their stuff to me, I'll be like, okay. But my mindset is I need to see it for myself to actually believe it. But then it's like, for example, when they show videos of like aliens and stuff, now with AI, even seeing can't be believing because the AI made it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to physically in person see it to believe it.
our mistrust of institutions on the exploitation of the internet. But guess what, baby? I am the internet. You're looking at a bunch of ones and zeros that break shit down to its most basic of components. So today, I'm gonna take off the tinfoil hat and get to the bottom of some of these conspiracies. Or I'm gonna put it on. I don't know, which one would I do? And if I'm gonna start anywhere, it's gonna be with conspiracies that I think are probably or possibly true. And I think a great jumping on point would be the granddaddy of them all, the Illuminati. A lot of people have heard about the Illuminati, and most people think it's like, I don't know, an overarching concept. When something is shady and authoritarian, it's usually referred to as the Illuminati. Just like a blank.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how true do you think Illuminati is?
I'll give it actually, I'll give it a 7 just because there are probably secret groups. I'm not sure they call themselves the Illuminati, but...
Why do they have all those why all those symbols on our money? What's the deal with the symbols on our money?
I don't know.
It's so weird. Why do rich people act weird, too?
Statement for everything Epstein-ish. But it turns out
Well,
That stuff.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, the whole Epstein thing, that came out of nowhere. It's like, what? And then now Diddy stuff, too.
well, it's the worst kept secret. Everybody knew about it. No one talked about it.
Until we started talking about it.
that the Illuminati is real. It's a real thing that exists. That's okay. Or at least it was. It existed at one point. Sorry to pump fake you like that. The real conspiracy here is YouTube engagement. In the less than notable year of 1776, a little group called the Order of the Illuminati was founded in Bavaria. Creator Adam Weishaupt believed that the monarchy and the church were repressing freedom of thought and used the Order of the Illuminati to publish political satire to raise awareness of government corruption. So it was originally a group of people that wanted to get together and make fun of the government and religious powers that controlled them. So like, pretty much the opposite of what everyone thinks the Illuminati is, so that's confusing. The original Illuminati was inspired by the Freemasons, another conspiracy theory mainstay, and adopted their tiered structures and mysterious rituals. Unfortunately,
Frank could probably talk about a lot of weird shit with Freemasons.
Oh yeah, our friend does that too. He talks about.
That's what that's what I was saying.
Oh.
The boogin. It's real Hollywood's actors, actresses, music, etc. Anyone who has big ones.
Religious and government figures aren't known for their senses of humor, so the Illuminati was immediately in hot water off the bat. In the late 1780s, the Duke of Bavaria outlawed secret groups, making them punishable by death. Which is crazy because that's a pretty nondescript definition. Like, I get on late at night secretly when my girlfriend goes to sleep so I can play.
A lot of good did that law last.
Yep.
I mean, especially like, stuff like the KKK, Black Panthers, those are technically secret groups, aren't they?
Yeah. Freemasons.
Mm-hmm. And then you got, all those random little cults that sprinkle up everywhere.
Mormons.
Like, Dominion Online with the boys. Is that a secret group? Should I be put to death? Probably, for everything I just said. So that put a whole damper on the original Illuminati get-togethers, but the Duke of Cream Pies didn't kill it in its entirety. Nearly 2 centuries later, the hippies entered the scene, and they took the Illuminati torch and ran with it. During the Summer of Love, a sultry little text called the Principia Discordia started getting passed around. It parodied religious tracts with its own belief system, Discordianism, which worshipped Eris, the goddess of chaos. Oh yeah, now we're getting into the real scare the Christian shit. Let's go. The point of the pamphlet was to create a sense of civil disobedience disobedience through, you know, a bunch of hoaxes and pranks, basically, which in a way mirrored the beliefs of the original Illuminati. And in a strange moment of fate, Playboy writer Robert Anton Wilson loved that idea. He flooded Playboy with a bunch of fake letters to the editors about the Illuminati. There was also boobs in the magazine, which were also probably more interesting than what he was doing, but I can't talk about the boobs because this is YouTube.
Hide your secret messages behind booba. No one will know. That plot is too much plot for other people to notice your plot.
Chris, go ahead and put down the image of extra Tugg so people know I talk about boobs over there. Thank you so much. Eventually, Wilson went away and co-wrote a standalone book called The Illuminatus Trilogy, a book that would attribute government secrets like cover-ups and other evil shit to the made-up secretive group of the Illuminati. But if we zoom in on the cover of the book here, you'll notice a little quote at the top from the Village Voice. The ultimate conspiracy book, hilariously raunchy, and the biggest sci-fi cult novel to come along since Dune. You know, sci-fi, science fiction, fiction. People didn't get that part. They didn't understand this was a joke. When they wrote this book, they apparently did too good of a job with their satire and world building because people took the bait hard as f. As the 21st century approached, ideas like the Illuminati and the New World Order became less satirical and more like a convenient explanation of growing inequality and subsequent feelings of powerlessness. Now, it's reasonable to look for a scapegoat nowadays.
God, he looked so much different when he was younger.
Who's Alex Jones?
He turned the freaking frogs gay guy.
Oh! Yeah, you have to remind me. I don't remember people's names without a...
It's because things are unbelievably shitty no matter what side of the aisle politically you lay on. The richest 1% have more than the bottom 99%, and it doesn't seem like one government representative gives a
focus you have to be while reading book and trying to get the secret message.
Oh, yeah. No. It's no different than watching anime subbed. Or hentai subbed. There you go.
Shit about that fact. There's also like the Supreme Court deciding that political free speech includes getting bribes, which that's a real thing and that no one's talking about that really. And with all that going on, it's so fucking stupid to believe in the Illuminati, honestly. Listen, I get that it's fun to think that there are a secret group of people pulling the strings and making things get worse over time for their own financial benefit. But in reality, there is no secret group of people. We know who the people are. They're not trying to hide. Elizabeth Warren has made more money off of insider trading than fucking Warren Buffett. And everyone in Congress always votes against term limits and they always vote.
Yeah, to be honest, why do the powerful need to hide their power when there's not really much we can do about it?
Yeah.
They can just laugh in our faces now.
Against the interest of every American person. And that's just because all of them want power and all of them want money. And they're all right there. You can see what they vote on every week. If we all just stop believing in a grand conspiracy and focus on the motherfuckers who are doing shit in broad daylight, the idea of an Illuminati is going to quickly dissipate. I mean, Jesus Christ. Sorry. Anyway, that got too political too quick for a Big Tugg video. So let's talk about something a little bit more silly. Area 51. So maybe shape-shifting reptilians aren't.
Ooh, fun thing. I watched a random compilation video. Someone had a drone and they were flying it into the Area 51 area, and then like 5 seconds when going in there, the whole thing just crashed.
Yeah, because you don't think they have anti-drone technology at Area 51?
It was just so interesting how quickly it got scrambled
controlling
and
our government, despite the fact that 4% of them.
Remember
believe
the raid into Area 51 happened like right at 2019?
Oh yeah, when everyone was Naruto running.
Yeah, they tried to get in there and then COVID happened right afterwards, and that's all a joke to me laughs. Like, whatever you found in Area 51, put it back.
Oh!
That conspiracy theory, but I don't have time for that one. But that doesn't mean there isn't something out in the
aliens
cosmos. With all the shit coming out recently by the US government confirming that they keep seeing shit that they can't explain, clearly the question of extraterrestrial life is more pertinent than ever. Which leads us to the supposed home base of alien cover-ups, Area 51. Area 51 for...
Why hide it so much now? If they're gonna, like, talk about...
Well, also in Area 51, they also test, like, the stealth bombers and stuff, like military stuff they don't want people to see. I guarantee there's shit inside these warehouses that will never see the light of day.
Until they want it to come out because it's probably more of maybe like, okay, if it's not alien stuff, it's probably like secret government stuff that they don't want our enemies to find out, maybe.
Yeah.
those of you who live under a granite slab, is a highly classified U.S. Air Force facility in the middle of the desert of Nevada, where the U.S. government performs top secret research. It's been around since 1955, but the U.S. government has not confirmed its existence until 2013, so that's f***ing crazy. By all accounts, that's suspicious at the very least.
Yeah.
And the area around it is crazy. It's got like big fences and armed guards every 5 feet. But despite the fact that you
It's
can
also got like the world's longest runway.
just go
What do they
look
use
at
that
it, the
for?
American government denied its existence for over half a century. Nobody quite gaslights like Uncle Sam, and you gotta respect that hustle. According to conspiracy theorists, Area 51 isn't just a place where they test new weapons and aircraft. It's actually, allegedly, a place where recovered alien spacecraft and the bodies of its crew are kept. The original story started in 1947, where unidentified debris ended up in a farmland in Roswell, New Mexico. The Roswell Army Airfield came and collected the debris, even releasing a statement regarding what they referred to as a flying disc. This reasonably made everyone think, was that a fucking alien? And the government realized, reasonably, that we can't let people think that, because that's a little crazy. The next day, officials changed their tune, claiming that the debris
Crazy, or they want to keep all the secrets for themselves, and that's how they're able to have more power.
Yeah, no.
was actually just a weather balloon. A classic band-aid on any government whoopsie. Aliens landing in the desert? It's a weather balloon. Accidentally dropping a nuke in Georgia? It's a weather balloon.
Yeah, that's the
Everyone
thing.
relax. In the 70s, an intelligence officer
Yeah, there's a missing nuke off the coast of Georgia.
Oh,
The plane-
how long ago and when and why?
I think sometime in the 50s they dropped it out there because they thought the plane was going to crash. And it didn't go off, thankfully, but it's still missing at the bottom of the ocean off the coast of Georgia.
Do nukes go bad after a while?
I don't know.
Is it still just as potent as the day it was made?
Who knows?
Are we gonna be affected if it decides to go boom?
No, it's only Georgia.
Only Georgia? Okay,
involved
sorry,
in the
Georgia.
investigation claimed he had been ordered to keep quiet, and in 1980, the Roswell incident was published, turning a whole new generation onto the supposed cover-up. And we can't talk about Area 51 without at least discussing a little bit of Robert Lazar, our boy Bobby Lazar. Bob claimed to have been part of a classified project to reverse engineering extraterrestrial technology, and that he had read government briefings that described alien involvement in human affairs for over the past 10,000 years. And this is the part where I don't really know what to say, because on one side of the aisle, you have a bunch of people saying that, everything he has said has been debunked, and on the other side, I believe him. I f***ing believe Bob Lazar. I don't know, make up your decision for yourself. Go watch an interview with him. Go watch the f***ing Joe Rogan.
What do you think? Have you heard that?
Yeah. I've heard of Bob Lazar. I don't know. I haven't seen any of his interviews. He's been around forever.
Huh.
But if he actually was part of, if he actually did have secrets he spelled out, he would be in a federal prison right now. So...
Point.
And he got on. And Joe Rogan doesn't mention trans people in that one, so you're safe. But after decades of debate and denial, the plausibility of Area 51 came back into the mainstream after a bunch of weird shit started happening. In 2023, 3 military veterans testified at a congressional hearing about UFOs. They claimed that the U.S. government operated a secret multi-decade reverse engineering program of recovered vessels, and they also claimed that non-human biologics have been recovered from alleged crash sites. This came on the heels of the release of declassified videos showing UFOs, now known as unidentified aerial phenomena, which, weird time to rebrand UFOs, but I'm not the government, so what would I know? So does this mean that Area 51 actually picked up an alien spacecraft and was testing that shit in the desert? Hey, well, it doesn't not mean that, but also...
Oh, we need to remember all those ninjas out
Their lives the Area 51 raid.
Yeah.
The internet is
Video.
Yep.
Play the tune of Naruto.
That was a good one.
If the U.S. government has been reverse engineering alien technology for the last 7 decades, how come I haven't seen any of that shit? How come you guys haven't been giving that to the people? I mean, for f***'s sake, the closest thing we've had to alien technology in the past 70 years is like, I don't know, the Fushigi?
It's here. It's wild. It's sweeping the nation.
Oh, yeah.
It's Fushigi!
It's the David Bowie ball. You would get that better.
I forgot.
You would get that better if you actually watched Labyrinth.
Oh.
Yeah. So no, you're not allowed to laugh. You never watched Labyrinth, so you don't know what I talk. But that's seriously, really just the.
It's.
All right, now that we've gotten through that, let's talk about the probably not true conspiracies, because it's important to talk about
remember
stupid shit
that.
sometimes
There you
too.
go. You
Up first,
get
we
it.
have the moon landing, and more so the fact that it was fake, which is bonehead behavior. In one breath, conspiracy theorists think that we're reversing alien technology, and in the next, they say that the moon.
You know what's annoying?
What?
How do you know what to believe anymore? Because, okay, I watch videos of people showing evidence like, oh, moon landing's fake, and they show their evidence. But then I also watch videos where they show that the moon landing's real, and they have their
Remember
evidence.
the Mythbusters episodes where they actually showed shit, how the moon worked, disproving all the conspiracy theories? The one that disproves it the most, one of the Apollo missions, when they landed, they have a giant mirror they laid on the ground so we can measure the distance between the Earth and the moon. They literally aimed it at a random spot on the moon. It didn't bounce back. They aimed it back where they landed. It bounced back. The laser.
Oh.
That kind of disproves the conspiracy theories.
Point. Oh, yeah, another one. I got, well, actually, he'll probably talk about it. If he talks about it, I'll bring it up. Go ahead.
moon landing was faked. What the f? And what's even crazier is that at the same time, the American government was, oh God, no. God, please don't make me talk about them again. I can't talk about the Soviets anymore. Putin is gonna push me out of a goddamn window. Conspiracy theories that the moon landing was staged by the US government started forming around the mid-70s, with the general thesis being we staged the landing to win the space race with the Soviets. Unlike a lot of far-fetched conspiracies, these claims seem to be in good faith, but they've been pretty thoroughly disproven over 50 years. So let me just give you some talking points for the next time you run into one of these dipshits who doesn't believe the moon landing is fake, so you can,
Okay, cool.
you know, quickly end that conversation so your brain doesn't melt.
Yes,
Statement
tell
1.
me.
Why does the flag wave in space when there's no wind or air to move it? Answer. The moon's surface is really bright. It's pretty much a white-gray color, and the sun's reflecting off that like freshly laid snow. So the camera's exposure is not going to be able to capture the stars. You can't see the Milky Way galaxy from fucking Times Square. Inquisitive statement. Why are the shadows cast at weird angles? Answer. The moon's uneven surface makes shadows weird. That's pretty much the basis of it. If you don't believe me, go to the
I need a rebuttal right here.
What?
He didn't.
The flag? I can explain it.
Okay, yes, please.
Because it's kind of like on a spring, and it just, the way the flag just moved back and forth. There's no air on the moon, so nothing slowed the flag from flapping when it's spring down.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that's like gravity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so stuff.
Oh, another thing that proves they landed on the moon?
Uh-huh.
The experiment where they took a feather and a hammer and let it go at the same time, and they both fell at the same rate.
Ooh.
If there was air, the feather would have slowed down.
And there would have been no way to fake that.
How you gotta make a huge ass vacuum chamber to fake that. How are you gonna do that?
moon. Inquisitive statement. How come you don't see the camera and the reflection of the astronaut's helmet? Answer. The camera was built into the space suits themselves. And also, if NASA was faking these fucking photos, you'd think they would just make him hold up a camera. They wouldn't forget that. But one of the craziest parts of this conspiracy is that they sometimes say that Stanley Kubrick, the guy who made fucking 2001: A Space Odyssey, they think he worked with the government to direct the moon landing on a soundstage. And they get this information from the fact that Stanley Kubrick left like clues in the movie The Shining. But like, it's been proven that in order to get the lighting that they needed to take those
Also,
photos
flags
of like
made
the
out of
actual
metal,
sun,
too.
they would need to have
was?
crazy lighting
Apparently.
fixtures that were not possible at the time. And even if they did have them, the bulbs would be so big and hot that everyone would be very unsafe. So yeah, that's stupid. The whole conspiracy is stupid. Stop saying it, because it's not true. And speaking of dumb things you have to stop talking about, we're gonna talk about chemtrails. That's a fucking stupid one. You know,
Oh, this one.
next
I've heard this since I
one.
was like 11.
Okay, so what's the thing with
They're
chemtrails?
putting chemicals in the spray. I don't even know the whole story. I've heard multiple different things. There's putting chemicals in these,
They're controlling the weather.
controlling the weather. Oh, someone on Twitch says hi.
Hi. So,
But yeah, it's.
this is one of the classic. Yeah. Welcome.
when a plane flies overhead on a sunny day and you can see like a kind of like a smoke coming out from back of it? These are known to scientists as contrails and to dipshits as chemtrails. What's the difference? Well, one is a pretty boring science thing, and the other one is the government is dropping poison on people in order to make them gay or liberal or something along those
They make the frogs gay.
lines. Contrails are simply trails of condensation that form when hot engine exhaust meets cold, low-pressure air at high altitude. Snooze fest. But scientific fact has never even slowed it down.
It's like when it's cold outside and I start the car and the
Yeah.
smoke comes out the back of the car.
Point.
Well, you go high up in altitude, it's cold up there.
Right. Okay, that's common sensey, dude.
Plus lower pressure, too.
Okay.
shit from saying stupid things out of their gaping mouths. In 1996, conspiracies surrounding these vapor trails took flight due to an Air Force research paper named Weather as a Force Multiplier Owning the Weather in 2025, which, to be fair, concerning title for a research paper. The Air Force paper outlines how weather modification systems in the future could use aerospace forces to achieve military objectives. Once again, that was Jimmy writing. I cannot think of a sentence that smart. However, the EPA has stated that it does not reflect current military policy, practice, or capabilities. But too late, cat's out of the bag. You can't f***ing declassify a document that sounds that scary without making the dum-dums all scared. And it doesn't help that the government has, you know, in the future f***ed up the sky several times. I mean, for instance, during the Cold War, god damn it, the US and British governments conducted mock chemical warfare attacks, subjecting hundreds of thousands of people to zinc cadmium sulfide, a chemical thought to be non-toxic. But oopsie doopsie, turns out repeated exposure to that chemical creates cancer. So, I don't know why you would use.
Oh.
There's something one of my teachers told me when he was a kid, like years ago. He saw foil falling out of the sky.
Huh.
He found out later what it was. The government was going up to high altitude and releasing aluminum foil out to simulate nuclear fallout. Well, if a nuclear bomb went off, what would be the fallout?
Huh.
Yeah. Because it was back in the 60s, he told me, when this happened.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that, like, scared the shit out of him to think. The foil was simulating, like, literally nuclear particles coming down.
Oh, so like it was like sprinkles of foil?
Yeah, it wasn't it was harmless, but it was just as similar to what would happen if a bomb went off. How it would spread in the atmosphere.
I hope they cleaned up their foil of confetti. Ooh, this reminds me of when the military and
That's true.
Oh yeah.
That is actually true. They made a K-bomb.
Yeah, I think we watched a video talking about that, didn't we?
That specifically, why not just use like water or something? But just because the government historically up does not mean it's a conspiracy. Because like, have you ever been up on a plane? Gets cold up there, guys. It gets real cold on the outside of airplanes. And then have you ever like breathed your hot breath out in the cold winter air? Does it make a little smoke? Okay, then the conspiracy debunked. Speaking of nincompoop.
Here's a question though.
What?
Why does it just stay there though?
Higher atmosphere.
Oh.
Less pressure. So it just...
the stuff like the tail smoke of the car, if that was to poof out all the way up there, it would turn into a cloud?
Yeah, essentially. The smoke is just moisture is all it is. Clouds are just moisture.
Oh.
Just that high up, it just doesn't evaporate because of low pressure and the temperature.
So does that mean theoretically clouds are smoke?
Theoretically, yeah. They're just moist. Clouds are just dense moisture. That's all they are.
Huh.
Let's talk about 5G, the dumbest fucking thing ever that people
5G.
are afraid of. 5G conspiracies are the new kids on the block. Because it's a new thing, people are going to fear.
On the test. Will this be on the test? Yes.
Remember the 5G? That came out at the same time COVID came out, the conspiracy for that.
It did? I thought 5G was before COVID.
Right during COVID, I think, is when 5G was coming out. And they also had the, what was it, the thing of, like, the people were shooting at, like...
Oh, yeah!
We saw that on...
attack the cell towers!
They did it with rock music, and technically they did it with Jesus and his whole vibe. And let's face it, you don't know how 5G works. I don't know how 5G works. I don't know how Bluetooth works, or Wi-Fi, to be honest. Honestly, I don't even
Yeah, exactly! How the hell does Bluetooth or Wi-Fi work?
It's just radio signals, all it is.
Okay.
Just different.
Radio... Woo! What does this do to us?
Fundamentally understand a toaster. And unless you're a nerd in the comments section writing out a paragraph trying to explain to me how those things work, which I will not read because reading makes me sleepy, then you don't understand vital aspects of technology. And that's okay. It's actually pretty normal to not understand how everything works in this modern era. It's like access to all information because of the internet makes everyone feel like they should know everything about everything. But in all honesty, that would physically be impossible, or at the very least a large waste of your time. But that's where the conspiracy starts, because instead of accepting the fact that some things require you having a very specialized college degree to understand, conspiracy theorists start asking a bunch of questions in the name of research. And by the end of the whole thing, you arrive at the conclusion that WebMD arrives at, which it's cancer. These things are giving everyone cancer.
Yay! More cancer!
That's what we need to be focused on. Forget they tried to replace cancer with COVID, but no, cancer is king.
Cancer, everybody go home. But the thing is, 5G isn't that complicated. In fact, it's a little outdated in a weird sense. 5G utilizes radio waves to transmit data. You know, that thing FDR was using for his fireside chats, meaning it falls within the radio frequencies of electromagnetic radiation. But then you say the word radiation and people fucking freak out. But my god, there has literally never been a link between electromagnetic radiation and cancer. It doesn't have.
Technically, heat filled from a fire, that's called heat. That's called radiation. That's not radiation. We think radiation like nuclear fallout.
Right.
There's different kinds of radiation. It's just a term.
Right. I mean, the sun gives off radiation, yeah.
Yeah, a form of heat and also UV light and.
Oh yeah, UV light's a form of radiation, isn't it?
Yeah.
So fucking relax. You're making everyone think we're stupid by saying shit like that. Please just relax. And then the biggest fucking dumb shit of all time is flat earth theory. And this one physically.
Oh, yeah, he said the thing.
I wish this shit would stop. You know there's flat earthers all around the globe.
What?
That's a joke. The flat earthers are all around the world.
Okay.
Get it around the world.
Oh, because it's round.
Makes me angry to hear about. The earth is not flat. Stop saying the earth is fucking flat, okay? How has the most important...
You know what's sad? Like I said, I watch a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of these ones pop up about flat earth and stuff.
That's the new crazy that keeps coming back. I don't know why.
Why is it so... Because according to a lot of the theories I hear, the world has like a border. These people need... I want these people to get on a boat right now, go find that border, someone go fly on a plane, and realize, yeah, no, it goes around.
Of all of humanity, the internet, the information highway, the modern Library of Alexandria. How has the internet sent our collective intellect careening thousands of years into the past? We literally figured out that the earth was round in year 5. We were 5 years into this shit and we figured that out. But around 2015, the fridge conspiracy that the earth was flat started gaining momentum somehow. But hey, it, I'm open-minded. How do you flat earthers justify this conspiracy? Well, you see, they look out over the horizon like at the ocean and they think it should curve like a ball. And it doesn't. So the earth is flat? Are you guys fucking idiots? I mean, first of all, the horizon does curve. That's when you see a ship go over the horizon and it disappears. It went around the earth, around, like a round ball. And since the basis of...
One of the things that I saw is someone talking about, like, the way water, it can't be contained if the earth is round. That was one of their logical reasons why the earth's flat.
Oh.
Warps_TP is now following.
Thank you for the follow.
Thank you.
But, yeah. Well, I saw the best one. The flyer just took a globe, put a little doll on the top, and then he put it on the bottom and dropped it and, explain that.
I can explain that in one word. One word I can explain why water can stay on the round surface and why we do not fall. Gravity. There you go.
Their belief is fucking moronic. They have to come up with a bunch of other shit to explain all the other things going on. They think Antarctica is not a continent. They think it's an impenetrable wall that goes around the entire disk.
Yeah. We need to defund the education system. It's not working.
I don't even... Dude, did we really learn anything in school? I felt like school was just a temporary prison for children at this point.
You learn basic, how to socialize. You should learn how to socialize. How
I
to
did not learn that.
But I feel like we've gone away from that.
Disk of Earth, I think. And you know the other planets in the solar system? Those are spheres. Those are orbs. Those are globes. But the Earth is not. For some reason. But how could such a patently false, thoroughly debunked conspiracy gain momentum? Well, in all honesty, you've been believing everything I've said so far, and I'm a charismatic dunce, so we're both part of the problem here. Many people who believe this theory claim that YouTube introduced them to it. And they started out watching conspiracy videos, and then the algorithm did its thing and fed them more and more and more conspiracy videos. And now we have people believing shit that the Pilgrims thought was asinine. What the fuck is going on? Now, all that being said, I have to throw some goodies at the conspiracy theorists because sometimes this shit turns out to be true. For example, we have the Canadian gaydar. That's a real thing that happened. In 1961, the Canadian government...
Hey, there you go. They're talking about...
Gay Canadians. What a shock.
Is this the gay bomb?
I don't know.
It's related to it, but there you go. We got that.
My cousin says the Earth is flat.
Piffed. The dumb French.
Yeah, I think the universe wants to lose his mind.
Yuppers.
Carleton University professor Frank Robert Wake to develop gaydar. And no, this isn't anything other than what you think it is. It is exactly what you're thinking. A machine that can sniff out a gay man like a drug dog at a gay pride parade. Of course.
Someone give this to Kirsha. She keeps going on dates with gay men.
Oh no. She needs
At
to
the time,
find
they
the buy
didn't call it
ones.
gaydar. That would be too uncouth.
They want
No,
the
they
pure
decided to
straight
call
man.
it the
You can't have it all. Settle for buy.
much more offensive fruit machine. That was the actual title they gave it. Fruit machine. These officials believed homosexuals had character weakness which made them disloyal and easily manipulated. Basically, they thought communists were gay. They thought that's what that was. And I mean, the first half of that was demonstrably false, but also
Foxley,
gay
yeah,
communists,
no.
that's like 90% of Williamsburg. Wake experimented by forcing subjects to look at same-sex smut while measuring how much their pupils dilated. And I mean, I'm not an expert, I'm not a professor, but if I were to measure something on a male's body to see if they were turned on by gay smut, wouldn't be the pupils. Seems like he missed a huge objective there. But also, if he was going to be measuring penises, that would make him gay and therefore a commie, so he probably avoided that. Obviously, the fruit machine was abandoned and didn't work, but the study and the prevailing ideas that were
I'll explain after the.
behind it cost hundreds of people their jobs and fed into the culture of homophobia while sowing seeds of distrust amongst the population. So way to go, Canada. You guys are supposed to be cool and you're fucking up. And then we have Project Sunshine. That sounds fun. I'm sure that's not going to be horrible at all. In
Okay, what is Project Sunshine?
I don't know. We're going to learn together.
1955,
sounds
University of
fun
Chicago
and
professor
happy.
Dr. Willard Libby was in charge of Project Sunshine. His goal was to measure the amount of radioactive isotopes that were being absorbed by humans because of nuclear testing. Simple enough. How does this go wrong, you wonder? Well, he claimed that there was huge gaps in his data because it was hard to obtain human samples, particularly samples of children. Uh-oh, is that the comic book level mad scientist alarm going off? That's f***ing why is that doing that? So not only did he say he needed an ample supply of radiated children, but also motherfuckers listened to him. Over 1,500 samples
Go find the children of the atom.
No. Children test subjects.
were gathered. And by samples, I mean body snatchers. People were digging up dead bodies. Shout out to the Mad Scientist video I made earlier about the body snatchers, but you guys didn't watch that one. It didn't perform, so I don't blame you for not knowing what I'm talking about. They were taking dead bodies, cadavers, and most of them were babies or children. And then in 1960, Libby would win the Nobel Prize in Chemistry. Did I mention these things make people distrust the government? And there's just so much shit that turns out to be actually true, and it's all f***ing super f***ed up. Listen, the government is lying to you. We all know that. We all know the government lies all the time. And yes, rich people control everything. We are...
Do you think... Okay. I'm just gonna go on a bit of a tangent here. Characters like Hojo from Final Fantasy VII, do you think those kind of people exist?
Who? Probably.
Because this sounds like someone like that.
I guarantee you, there's shit, like I said, we'll never see the light of day because people on the top went, what the fuck are we doing? Keep in mind, there were points back in the Cold War, a computer bug almost caused a fucking nuclear war. They were like at Cheyenne Mountain, they put in a wrong reel, like back then when they had the reels for computers. Someone put a test to simulate a nuclear, and no one told anybody. And it almost caused a fucking nuclear war. And this is shit we know from the United States. Imagine the shit that happened over in Russia.
Oh. You did good in school, didn't you?
No, I learned this shit from TV and stuff. There was another one, mosquito bombs.
Oh, now you made me itchy.
They actually were doing this testing this in World War II. Take a bunch of mosquitoes that are hibernating, put them in a bomb, drop them over people that are ones that are infected with malaria.
Oh.
It spreads out and just wipes your army out. And they actually tested this with mosquitoes without malaria in Georgia on people. Oh. So imagine you're just sitting there, you're chilling, all of a sudden 1,000 fucking mosquitoes are coming your way.
You know,
it's like One Punch Man.
But yeah, it's easy why people can come up with conspiracy theories now, because you know, if there's stuff like this happening already, Natchy.
There's one that we know of, the Tugg experiment, where they infected black men with syphilis to see what would happen.
Oh.
That went on for years in the 50s. That is an actual thing our government did.
I'm guessing that was back when...
That was before a lot of things. No one went to jail for that one either. So, yeah, don't
Yeah. Instead of asking for reparations, ask for revenge against these people. They're probably dead by now. Who knows? They're probably dead.
We know these things, but don't let that fool you. Most of the conspiracies are bad and not good, and they make people look stupid. But no matter how much information there is to debunk it, people end up just not caring. Like that one poster you saw in a dorm room, I want to believe. So enjoy your theories. Just know that you look like a dipshit when you bring up these theories in high school in the back of your mom's friend's sedan.
USR submarine that has a single just stopped a nuclear exchange because he didn't believe in the alarm. The U.S. sent a nuke. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Damn it.
There are so many times that one person probably stopped the world from ending. Hell, the Cuban Missile Crisis. Yeah.
Did they get a medal at least?
New videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Like,
right,
comment,
so
and
that was-
subscribe.
I didn't
Shout out
even
to
realize the
extra
video
Tugglets,
ended. Thank you for joining us for Conspiracy Theories. I'm like really locked in now. Bye!